Weddings are supposed to be perfect. Flowers arranged, vows rehearsed, tears, laughter, dancing. But no one expected the real tearjerker to walk in on four legs, muddy paws, and a wagging tail. This is the story of how a long-lost dog crashed a wedding and changed everything. The big day. The sun beamed down over the rolling hills of Meadow Creek. It was one of those picture-perfect Saturdays where the clouds looked like they were hand-painted into the sky. Amelia and Brian were finally getting married after 7 years together. The venue? An outdoor barn wedding with fairy lights, mason jar centerpieces, and all the rustic charm you could imagine. Guests were seated. The violinist played a soft tune. Brian stood at the altar, heart pounding, hands slightly shaking. And then the music changed. The bridesmaids began walking in. And then Amelia appeared, stunning in a flowing white dress, veil dancing in the breeze. Everything was perfect, until the bark. At first it was faint, just a yip. Some guests chuckled, assuming it was a neighbor's dog. Then the barking grew louder, closer, followed by gasps. Out from behind the trees burst a muddy, scrappy-looking golden retriever, tongue out, tail wagging furiously. Chaos. One aunt screamed. A groomsman tried to intercept the dog, but it zipped past him like a bullet. The retriever charged straight down the aisle, right towards the bride. The stunned silence, everyone froze. The dog stopped just a few feet from Amelia, panting, staring up at her with wide, glistening eyes. Amelia, shocked, dropped her bouquet, and then whispered, "Milo?" You could hear a pin drop. Brian looked confused. The guests exchanged looks. The officiant cleared his throat but didn't speak. Amelia slowly crouched down and stared at the dog. "Milo, is that you?" she said again, voice trembling. The dog barked once, then leaped into her arms. Tears spilled down Amelia's face. Recognition. Brian knelt down beside her. Milo sniffed him, then licked his face. His tail wagged harder. "That's him," Amelia whispered. "His left ear. See the tiny notch? And his paw, the scar from the thorn bush." A guest in the back shouted, "Is this part of the ceremony?" Like a trained act. It wasn't. The videographer kept filming, switching angles as the couple knelt with the dog in the middle of their ceremony. The plot thickens. They took a break. The wedding paused as everyone gathered around, some dabbing eyes, others still shocked. Where had Milo been? A woman in the crowd finally stepped forward. I think that's the stray dog that's been hanging around my neighborhood for months." It turns out Milo had been living just a few miles away, scavenging, dodging traffic, surviving. The woman had tried to catch him before, but he always ran, until today. Something about the music, the crowd, the scent, he had found his way home. The wedding continues. With teary eyes and muddy paw prints on her dress, Amelia looked at Brian. "Should we keep going?" He smiled. "Only if Milo is the ring bearer." Laughter erupted. They tied a small velvet pillow around Milo's neck. The rings were placed on it, and he trotted down the aisle once more, this time to cheers. They said their vows. Milo curled up beside them. The kiss was sweet. The crowd clapped, and Milo barked again, almost like he was saying, "About time." The aftermath. The story went viral. The wedding video, posted 2 days later, was titled, "Our long-lost dog crashed the wedding, and we couldn't be happier." It gained over 2 million views in a week. Comments poured in. "I cried harder than I did at my own wedding. This needs to be a movie. Milo is a legend." Even a local animal shelter shared the video, calling it proof that lost pets never forget where they belong. Milo became a guest of honor. He was there during the first dance, the cake cutting, even got a seat at the sweetheart table. Okay, under it. Epilogue. The dog who came home. Months later, Amelia and Brian adopted another dog, a playmate for Milo. They framed a picture of that moment he ran down the aisle. Amelia crying, guests in awe. It hangs in their hallway now next to their wedding portrait. When guests ask about it, Amelia always says, "The best part of our wedding wasn't the cake, or the vows, or even the dancing. It was the reminder that love, real love, always finds its way home." If you enjoyed this heartwarming story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Share this with someone who loves dogs or believes in fate. Comment below. Have you ever had a moment where life surprised you like this?